Okay. Are we doing the thing? Hey. Y'all, I think we made it. Hello, hello, everyone. I think we made it to the live stream. I am trying out a new um, live streaming platform, so we'll see if this quality is better than what I've tried before. Okay. All right. So I've got my planner here with me. I've got a little decaf drink here. This has been a pretty good Sunday, a bit of a weird Sunday. I definitely played some nap roulette earlier today, and I always win at nap roulette. I always win. Let's be real. Uh, but I had to get a few things done here at home, and actually got a decent amount done. I was actually pretty stoked with that. So, but realistically speaking, I still need to get set up for the upcoming week. I have a fairly busy week, back to kind of the normal situation, but I want to do a little October flip because I really love how my pages looked in October. And I'm still in my Planner Monkey Co. Freely noted coffee cover. It's just a blank notebook that I set up. There's several videos on how I set this book up and what my system is like. So if you're interested in those, definitely go check out those, you know, um, go check out those situations. And yeah, if you guys are here, welcome, welcome. Let me see if I can find my comments. Hold, please. Wee. I think there's a few of you that tuned in, so welcome. If you are here, drop a little note in the chat on what you're doing. How was your weekend? How was your Sunday? Okay, so let me start this flip. The flip commences in my October monthly. So let's flip to this. And the October monthly, you would have seen if you watched any of my November reset videos. Nothing crazy happening here, but it is pretty cool. I did get my car washed on 10/28, so I made a little note of that because I want to start doing that on a monthly basis, whether it's me taking it in or me taking the time to do a bit of a deeper clean. And I did migrate everything over into November, so this has already been done. And I will be referencing this when I'm planning for it next week. So with that being said, let's go ahead and now get to my October weeklies, which are here. So I traveled a lot this month. I was gone roughly almost half the month. So my weeklies looked a little bit different. Ooh, this was crazy. And I got behind on a lot of weeks and had a lot of tasks that had to get just like this didn't get closed out until last week. And this was the week of October 14th, just for reference. So, you know, it is what it is. But I still love this layout, right? Still using sort of an overview on this week, vitamins up here, my cleaning checklist up here, and then a personal inbox and a work inbox. One thing I really want to do, and you'll see me do this when I get to the planning portion, is I'm going to be referencing in the weeklies, checking my monthly at the start of the week and the end of the week. And then in my dailies, you'll also see I have a little space for checking my weekly at least once a day. because the monthlies and the weeklies are amazing when I actually check them. And because this month just got so busy, I just didn't check them. So that was on me. We did go to church. I did take a little gummy already. I did take my fish oil. I did take my multivitamin. Yay. I did clean the bathroom. I did the floors. I did dust, and the bedding is washed. I have washed clothes, but I have not still folded clothes. Hey, Tanisha. Hey, we're setting up together. Yay. Welcome. Glad you could hang out. I wanted to plan this in advance, but I just didn't know how today was going to go. I haven't been sleeping that great. And so again, nap roulette earlier today. And I won because I always win at that game. And so I'm finally getting to this, but it's only about 7 o'clock, 7:30 for me. So I'm still in really good shape to get some of this stuff done. Okay. So this was the last week really of October because now we're on Friday the 1st. And let's get into my dailies. Which technically started on Monday, September 30th, because I don't wait for like necessarily the month. I just fit in, like, if the month starts on a Wednesday, I'm not going to keep Monday and Tuesday of the previous week in a separate book if I'm in between books. You know what I mean? So still using my day on 2 page for the majority of days, a daily timeline, some habits, some other notes, and then my to-do lists for the day. And if you see a star, if you've been around, you know what that means. That just means that the day has been closed out. We are done with the day. And I really liked how this week was so chill, but I was also out of town, so I wasn't in my book as much during the day. Watched Love is Blind for the first time at my friend's house. And then this is sort of my weekly overview. I typically do Saturday and Sunday, just a day on 1 page, because I don't need as much space on the weekends. And then my weekly, like, dashboard, not of events, but of like client resources, who I'm talking to, daily recurring tasks. I loved this washi. This I got in a D-stash, and I think this washi was originally from Arch Michael, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got it in a D-stash from Kelsey Doodles. So my dailies don't vary. I'm still using the same setup with like a few adjustments. And I love these no time to write stickers that I got from Coffee Monsters Co. because some days it do be like that. This was fun. This was a very sad little setup. And then I got into some brighter colors mid-October. I was trying to get more into spooky season. So these are like potions and like crystal balls and stuff. I think I need to embrace the fact that glitter washi, because this is a glitter washi, is just not the vibe for a daily page, because it just makes the pages really thick and kind of tough to turn the pages. But I really liked using some bright colors, which is not my norm. But when I want to do it, it's nice to do it. And then when I'm sick of it, I switch back. And you'll see me kind of switching back here in this coming week. And I used this over the course of 2 different weeks because that's just how it went. And then I have about 5 rolls of this from Planner Monkey Co. This particular washi. I absolutely love it. It's one of my go-tos. I just love this purple. I love the doodles. And again, daily timeline. The daily timeline is less of a pre-planning, right? If I'm doing any quote-unquote pre-planning or overviews, it goes in the weekly. But I will plug things in as the day goes on. So this is a in real time what is happening over the course of the day type of situation. And then this was the day I started my hunt. So I was scouting. And then I wasn't planning on back planning the days I was traveling, but I didn't touch this page or these pages until we got home on Sunday. But I was journaling Sunday night, and I just felt inspired to do a little setup on these days. I was like, let's do this. It feels fun. So I've never forced myself to backfill those pages, but if I feel inspired to, then I absolutely will. And then this was this week. Kind of put things out of order this week. I did a cute little November dashboard. Again, this was just a sticker from Randy.plans for my little day stickers, and I had it, so I decided to stick a little, dashboard in between each month because I had the stickers and I wanted to use them. and I had the room for it. So this was my November, and this was, where is October's? So this was October's. This was November's. I just print this on Kikuyu business paper. I print a design that I think is cute, and then I add some deco. And then this was a little sticker I got in a Planner Monkey Co order that I thought, I'm like, well, I'm not going to actually use it in anything, but I'm like, this is cute for a dashboard page. Like, I'll just drop it in there. So that was fun. And then we have the last few days of October: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. You see, this is like a normal daily for me. Like this, like messy, lived in, this is pretty standard for my daily planning. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you the addition that I had to this month, because what I'm trying to do is get back into just better personal care. I'm on a real interesting journey right now with just like grief and mental health. And so I'm trying to get back to just taking better physical care of my body this year. And that includes things like washing my face on a regular basis, like making a hair appointment. So I made a little self-care menu, not just for like facials and mani-pedis, but like hobbies, physical health, going to the doctor, right? Like I need to go to the eye doctor. I need to schedule my well moon exam. I need to get a dental cleaning, things like that. Like I need to be on top of that. So I made a little cute tracker for October with the things that I thought would be beneficial for me to focus a little bit more on. But I didn't have any specific goals for this. It was more just for awareness, and wanted to get into a couple things. I made a hair appointment, you guys. I got my Botox. I went to psychiatrist and got my meds refilled. And then this was sort of my reflection for the month. Very simple. This is not structured at all. This is just sort of stream of conscious. Getting back into personal care 10 at a time. I need to be better at like doing massages and chiro stuff, like not just actually going, but actually doing my stuff at home. That helps in between my appointments. And I need to better figure out my schedule for workouts, which I'm going to try something new this week, which I'll show you how I'm kind of pre-anticipating what I want to do for the week. It's a little bit tough because the gym I normally go to is a private gym. And when I go work out there, I usually will go in the evening because it's a little farther in the morning than what I like to drive, because I like to start work a little bit earlier. And I also do content there. So it kind of like serves the purpose of, it's a great gym. It's a private gym. I love the people there. I have a strength coach there that I worked with, and I do a lot of content there in the evening. So like whenever you see like a reel on my fitness page and it's at a gym, and it's the gym with like the black walls, that's my private gym that I go to, that's owned by another local trainer here in the area that I live in. But it's just, I haven't been going as consistently. I've been doing kind of some workouts at home, but I don't really push myself when I'm at home. So we're trying some new things this month. I'll let you know how it goes. But I was really happy with this. And so I switched up what I'm going to be focusing on in November. So I made a slightly smaller list and sort of new priorities for this month, and then what appointments. And I actually need to cancel this appointment. Oh, Tanisha, I'm so sorry. The grief is giving. I mean, shit, ain't that the truth? I'm finally, I'm going to be going through some of the boxes that I'm in my garage of stuff of my dad's that have been sitting in cardboard boxes. And I finally asked my boyfriend tonight to get me some like better totes so I can go through some of that stuff finally, because I'm like, I can't just leave it sit in the cardboard boxes in the garage for another year. Oh, the whiplash is real. Hey, Reese, welcome. So excited that you're here. Glad to have you. But yeah, Tanisha, my inbox is open if you ever just need an ear for somebody who is also going through a journey of a parent loss. Because that shit is, I don't mean to be the person whose entire personality is like, oh, my dad died. But like literally that's like, it drives so much of what I'm dealing with right now and what I'm trying to focus on. Like there's a before and an after, a very clear before and an after when you go through something like that. So, but this is like my little November tracker, and I just really liked this. These were in a separate booklet, but I actually took them out and took them in here because I didn't like how chunky my TN was getting. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit when I get I'm not going to be using this TN cover for much longer. There's a story behind it. I'll talk about it when I get my other cover in. But having like 4 strings and an insert on each string with one of these inserts being this chonker yeah, I'm learning very quickly that I'm not going to be able to keep my, I'm not going to be able to use 400-page books while I also have other inserts going into 2025, which stinks because I have this really beautiful 520-page N1 size Sterling ink notebook. And I'm like, I won't be able to use that with other inserts. And I like having the other inserts. Like, this is my notes for my networking meetings, which I want to keep separate because then everything's in one place. And then this is like my sticker book insert, and I don't want to give this up either. So we're figuring out what's going to be the best situation. I may have to like de-stash or gift that 520-page notebook because I don't know what I'll do with it otherwise. So anyway, so to my journaling pages. Whee! And I am only tabbing these because I have the tabs, but I kind of like having the tabs. So these are like October, November, December for my dailies, my notes, which is just like my bullet journal notes, like this, like, you know, like all of this stuff that I just write randomly, like, you know, as needed type of situation, like, you know, but I kind of like the tabs vibe, the little tabs. So I need to go through and see what tabs I still have, and make a decision if I can still use those. Because some of the tabs I have are really big and I don't like those. I like these little ones, and decide if I need and or want new tabbies for my books in 2025. It's definitely a want, not a need, but I do like the vibe, and I like looking at the book and seeing that this is very clearly October, November, December. Like, that's what this is for. Okay, journaling pages, October. So I journal in the back of this, and I do what I call micro journaling, where like I just do the date sticker, a little icon, and then I just journal whatever pops into my brain. October, I didn't journal as much as I want to, so you'll see towards the end of October, when I got done with my second trip, the entries are longer, and I'll just like time it, and then literally this is 2 sentences. Like, it, guess what? It counts. And some days are longer, some days are shorter. So you'll go see these are shorter. And I accidentally put September 30th. Like, I flipped too many pages. So September 30th is here, but it should be earlier, but it's fine. This was Friday. Like, that's all I journaled that day. And it's okay. And I'll do a little gratitude here. And then I kept going. And then you'll see Sunday, October 27th, when I got back from my hunting trip, I kind of journal about how I miss doing these longer entries, you know? And so I'm leaning into taking more time with this on a daily basis, getting back to what I know makes me feel good and helps me process, especially during transitions throughout the day. With my ADHD, I really struggle with transitions. And so sometimes micro journaling during a transition really helps me process. And that's something I find a lot of value in. And then a little more gratitude lists. I don't usually use a lot of these little dot stickers, but I have a lot of samplers that had dot stickers, and I know I have some random little dot stickers floating around. I really like them for my gratitude lists. You'll see I've been using them. And then here's Thursday, right? More little dot stickers. And then I just kind of did like a highlights from the month. I didn't actually do any long form journaling on the 31st. I just did my gratitude and then highlights from the month. And I like how this turned out. And then we're into November, which you'll see dot stickers. So we're back into the swing of things. So that's my sort of, that's a really good idea. And maybe I'll hang on to it, but I actually I have a research notebook. Actually, I need to do a video on like my journals, because I have journals that I use. And one of my journals is like an A5 foliar Stalogy. And that's my research and education notebook. And then I have a separate notebook that's a B6 Stalogy that I use for my professional development reading. So I have notebooks for it already. But also, maybe I will hang on to it because it is a blank notebook, and I might decide at some point that I just want everything in one notebook and I don't want to use inserts. I plan on staying in the N1 size for 2025. I'm kind of committing to that because I really, really enjoy it. And my other size that I love is B6. And I learned that B6 and N1 are the same, like, square inches from like a space perspective. So, but I'm just loving the vertical. Like, I like the columns right now. It really, really works for me. And journaling feels very doable, and taking random notes feels really good in the N1 size page, right? Like this these notes were really, really nice to take in this page. I really, really liked this. So, but that is a good point. Maybe I'll just hang on to it, you know. But it stinks because I wanted to use only what I had on hand. But it's like, oh, well, if what I have on hand is not actually going to work now that I figure out some of the logistics. Oops. Maybe I'll repurpose it. All right. Let's figure out what's going on for this coming week. So now we're moving on to the sort of planning portion of today's video. I've got a handful of things happening. And actually, I'll show you guys what I did for this coming week. I was kind of just thinking through what I want this week to be / look like. So I made like a mock like vertical layout for this coming week so I could kind of see logistically where things are going to fit. I don't have any music lessons this week because I wasn't anticipating potentially even being home until Monday from my hunt, but I got home early. So I have some other events that I'm going to this week and some call windows that I need to keep blocked in. And actually I should check one of my message threads with somebody who is trying to book a call with me and see if she replied. Tuesday. Okay, she wants to meet on Tuesday. All right, so she wants to meet Tuesday. So I'm going to just pencil her in for Tuesday at 4, question mark. And then I can move it if I need to. So first thing I'm going to do is just go through in my weekly. And I have this new little washi here for my weeklies over here. I'm just going to go through my iCal, which is what all of my calendars feed into. And just start dropping things in. I need to add my little digestive health habits. Don't know why I do them this way, but I really like doing it this way and it works. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if you have questions about what it is that I'm writing up here, this BT and BM, y'all just let me know. Unless you don't like talking about that stuff, and then it might be TMI. But I talk about like a lot of weird things on a daily basis with my clients doing what I do as a functional nutrition coach. So things are not like TMI for me a lot of times. Oops. Okay, so Monday I have 2 p.m. I have a call with Josh and a call with Rue. Oh, we got another meeting thrown in the mix here. Okay, 12 p.m. And then I have a 2 p.m. massage scheduled, which will be interesting because Tuesday is a check-in day. But if I might start my check-ins on Monday. I'll write that in on Monday because if I have time to do that on Monday, I will. Otherwise, I don't have any other calls on Tuesday, so I actually should be able to get everything done on Tuesday, realistically. Wednesday's a little busy. I have a call, 2, a 2:30, a 3, and then a 4. That's a one-on-one. That's a one-on-one. That's an office hour. And then this is a happy hour for a publication that their offices are in my workspace. And I recently was able to connect with the owners of this publication, and they're like a local publication. And so it was funny because actually the woman who publishes it, Christy, is a total planner person. And we got to talking about planners and the planet she ordered. Sometimes she was telling me about like her twines and paper orders and all of these things. And it was so fun. And so it was nice to kind of make like a networking connection, but also find like a personal connection as well. And then Thursday is a BNI, and then I need to cancel my nail appointment because I just realized I can't do a middle of the day nail appointment on this particular Thursday because I have a networking meeting. Then I have an event at 6 p.m. That, and I ended up actually just like cutting down my nails and painting them at home myself. So I may keep my December nail appointment, but I'm gonna have to cancel my November nail appointment, which is fine. And then Friday, 3 p.m. Nick podcast. And I need to reschedule my chiropractic appointment. I wish my chiropractor was in earlier on Thursdays, but he also has a networking meeting on Thursdays that he goes to. I might have to do like a 10:30 a.m. chiro ? And rebook that. Then 10 a.m. Saturday is a Saya lesson. That's one of my music students. That's her makeup lesson. And then Sunday morning, I'm meeting up with my best friend and we're gonna hang out. Okay. Cleaning this week. We need to wash. We need to wash clothes, fold clothes, bedding, dust, floors, bathrooms. And then I already wrote in my current stuff here. Okay. So let me check my weekly to start. This got migrated. That got done. That got migrated. I think this is going to go back to the November monthly mini SD card. And actually, I have sort of a to buy list going in my Apple Notes right now. So maybe I need to add this into my Apple Notes. Oh shit, I need dry shampoo. I need a mini SD card. Best Buy gift card. So actually, I'm just going to leave that in my to buy list in my notes because that's not like an urgent thing. That's more of like I have the little gift card in my wallet and I don't want to forget that I'm using it. I really need to prioritize this week. So if we're going over to work, Orlando 1-1. And actually, I cannot remember. I want to say, actually, on Wednesday, I have a networking 101. Let me look up this message thread. I'm really glad I just remembered this. We are doing Thursday, November 7th. We am. So I do actually have another meeting on Thursday, November 7th. Pam 101. So I really can't do my nail appointment that day. Okay. 11:30. Pam 1-on-1. Okay. And I'm actually going to highlight these. And I need to do my MSP training. I have to block this in to my calendar. I might need to do some time blocking into my into my digital calendar. kind of similar to what I did here in my vertical here, but I might actually show you guys how I'm doing some of my time blocking in my actual calendar. And speaking of, scheduler, I really should just reschedule my chiropractor appointment right now. We have this nifty little app that we can use, which is so nice. And I have my appointment for Friday booked for 8 a.m., but rush hour does not agree with that statement, so I'm just going to book a 10:30. And we're good. Okay, so now we are officially at 10:30. Hold on, I need to take a little sip of my... If you guys are watching this, will you let me know how the video quality is for you? With this new live streaming is weird, and it's got a lot of like rules and shit. And I'm testing out a new live streaming software that I hope is coming through okay. I have kind of like the test stream up on my computer, and it looks okay, but it still always like decreases the quality when you stream. So like even though I'm streaming not quite at 4K, but I'm streaming at 1440 at 60 FPS, it's still looking a little blurry to me, and I don't know how to get it like crisp. It drives me nuts. So if anybody has any insight, let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, so I highlighted that. That's got to be prioritized. And then I'm going to pause this for this week. We're going to move this back into the monthly. I need to download all from Sign Now. I'm just trying to get some of my back end stuff organized a little bit. So this is going to be moved back. Okay. Yep, we did that. I need to follow up with Donna. So follow up with Donna. Okay, so these other things I needed to do is my state LLC update, and then my federal update, because I got to change some just contact information, so I have to start that process, and I have the email with the directions already. So this is going to be kind of like a heavy admin week. That's fine, which means that question box 1014 follow-up. And the YouTube resource, which was actually like a grocery in one of my YouTube vlogs on my fitness channel. I was talking about meal planning and how like when I take my clients through like the meal planning process, I actually have a process that I take them through, and I'm working on updating this resource that I use for weekly meal planning. This is like old branding. Okay. And this is sort of the list that I have. Let me actually quick like show you guys what this looks like. Planning. This is like
so
old branding.
See this.
Okay. And this is sort of the list.
The way that I have
my clients go through this.
Like show you guys what this looks
is,
like.
We always start with like, what do we have currently? Okay. And I always tell people like start with like one meal a day, especially if you're not used to meal planning.
This is like
so old
branding.
See this.
Okay.
And this is sort of the list.
The way that I have my clients go through this.
Show you guys. There's a few options, and I have some notes that I've been making on how to make this more robust.
We always start with like,
but
what do
where
we
I
have
tell
currently?
people to start,
Okay.
and I always tell people like start with like one
Figure
meal a day,
out
especially if you're not
what
used
you
to
already
meal planning.
have.
This is like
So you guys
old
can
brand.
see
So
this.
figure out what are the foods that you are, like in your pantry, and I have a more robust
sort of
version of this that I have.
the way
for
that
my
I have my
clients.
clients go through this.
Show you this is
There's
kind of
a
like
few
a free
options.
resource,
And
and I have
I
some notes that I've been
include
making on how to
for
make
just
this more
people in my
robust.
community.
We always start with like,
But
what
where
I
I
tell
tell
people
people
to
to
start,
start
and I always tell
write
people
what
you need
start with
from
like
a
one
grocery
figure
list,
out
especially if you're not
what
used
you
to meal
already
planning,
have.
and that's how
Like
you guys
old
can reduce a
brand.
lot of figure out what are the
This.
foods that you are
Is
in your pantry, and I have a more robust version of
what
this
you
that
already
I
have.
have
The way
for
that I have my
clients.
clients go through this.
Sound could be
There's
kind of like
okay,
a
that's a
free
couple
resource, and I
of
have
ways.
some notes that I've been
Let me
making on how to make this more robust. We always start with like
But
what you
start
need
with
from a
like one
grocery
figure
list,
out
especially if you're not
what
used
you
to meal
already
planning,
have.
and that's how
Like
you guys
old
can reduce a
brand.
lot of figure out what are the
This.
foods that you are.
Hold please.
Like in your pantry, and I have a more robust version of
what
this
you
that
already
I
have.
have
The way
for
that I
my
have my
clients.
clients go through this.
Sound could be testing 1 2. Yeah, this is, I heard the audio loop too. Hold on. Let me go back over here. Okay, did we fix it? Is it fixed? Did the audio loop stop? Because I felt like I was having a nightmare there. I'm like, I'm getting sick of the sound of my own voice. All right, I'm going to have to play with that. I don't know why that happened. It's very, very strange. Okay, well, TLDR, that's how I do like the meal planning. And I think I mentioned building out a new updated version of this as a community resource for my nutrition and fitness coaching. If you guys don't know, I do online fitness and nutrition coaching, and I focus on functional nutrition, aka dealing with like hormone imbalance, gut health issues, things like that, autoimmune disease. So helping people actually learn how to leverage exercise, lifestyle, and nutrition to just optimize their quality of life, especially if they have or have been told they have underlying health problems, right? Because that can sometimes screw with like what you think you're capable of doing. Anyway, I want to. We're gonna if you stuck around through all of that crazy audio loop nonsense, thank you and I apologize. But we're gonna go ahead and keep on with the planning at the very least. So anyway, that's what I was referring to. I want to work on that, but that's gonna have to just get tabled. I'm trying to be a lot more realistic with like what can stay in the to-do list versus like what needs to just get tabled for another week. And if you watch my November reset, what the plan is on a monthly basis to cross-check this with my Apple Notes, right? Like the big database of things. Because y'all, if you saw that reset, there's a lot of things on that list. Okay. So for this week then, this is all I'm going to put on for this coming week. No. I was the drama. I was definitely the drama with that audio loop situation. Tech is weird. I love tech, but I also kind of low-key hate tech. Can you guys still hear me if I try that? I might have had too many sound levels turned on in this Ecamm software. I'm still trying to figure that out. I might have to do some like unlisted test streams. But anyway, what was also really cool that I got to do kind of this week was I'll have to show you guys, and I've thought about maybe extending this as like a, like almost like not like a Patreon or subscription type situation. I don't know if I want to like do all that. I already got another business I'm running, but some of my clients are planner people. Okay. And some of them are trying to figure out like, what is the best way to track some of their like workouts specifically and like body stats and stuff like that in their notebook. So I was like, hey, tell me what notebook are you using? Tell me, you know, the grid size and the dimensions. So like, for example, for my client here, we mocked up, home. Where'd it go? Oh, that's because it's in Procreate. That's why, not GoodNotes. We took, I mocked up her, basically her like B6, like, so she uses like a B6. Oh, that glare is terrible. A B6 common planner. So she's like, okay, it's this high, this size. So I downloaded like a PDF that was like that grid size. And then I mocked up what she can use to track like her weight, her waist measurement, her hip measurements over the course of 6 months. This is for a client specifically who's graduating from coaching. She's been working with me since January. And she's at a point where she's graduating coaching. And so we're figuring out how is she going to track this stuff long-term for her own personal everything, because my clients use an app where we log everything. And so she was showing me what she was doing, and so we made some adjustments. And even for like workouts, for example, like how to log her workouts. So like for progressive overload, which is something that I taught her. So workout A, she does at least once a week, and she'll have her warm up and certain number of exercises. She's doing like glute burnouts plus like a cool down that I've written for her. But I want her to be able to track her reps and her weights, not just like day to day, but like week to week. So she can see on this specific workout, on these specific exercises, how am I progressing? So I thought it'd be actually kind of cool. I love the idea of showing people with, I'm glad the sound is better. I want to show people like with their like physical planners, what is the best practice for logging this type of stuff? Because people like tracking their health in their planners, and I totally get it. But like, I see a lot of like non-fitness professional individuals like showing their like health logs and stuff like online. And I'm like, I have some thoughts and feelings and opinions on it. And I know that it's all really well intentioned, but some of it's like very ineffective. I don't know how else to explain that. So I'm like, I want to do that, but that's like a project for another day. But like, can I offer something where like, hey, you tell me what notebook you're doing, what like size grid, what layouts you're using, how many pages you want to dedicate. And like, I'll show you a mock-up of like how you can use this to track certain information and how to use that data effectively, right? Because that's the other side of it, is a lot of tracking gets very performative, especially from a health perspective. And you have to decide, am I wanting to track this data? Like, for example, for me, for this is just for me staying on top of all the different things I'm taking, right? I don't do anything with this data. But if I'm logging like my workouts or my measurements or my body stats or whatever, I'm usually reflecting on that information, or like my steps. And I'm not just logging it to log it. I want to do something with that data to make decisions. Anyway, okay, getting back to this. So I'm actually really proud of like that I didn't overload this weekly. Okay. So now going into this, well, it might get overloaded here in a second. The dailies, what dailies I still need to close out for the week. So I think I already closed out. Did I close out? Monday is done. Tuesday is still open? Question mark. No. This is done. No, it's not. YouTube verification. I have to verify my YouTube. Now it's done. Tuesday. Deep. Done. Okay. End of day catch up and follow up Cassidy. I need to reach out to Cassidy. Follow up Cassidy in end of day catch up last week. I have end of day reports that I submit for my business to myself. I didn't do any of them last week. So if I'm like looking at like everything here, I did all of this stuff and I just didn't do my end of day reports basically for Tuesday through Friday, which is problematic. And I even need to like include like Saturday in here as well because I did work yesterday. Okay. And I shared, okay, that's done. This has got to get moved over. So these are my dailies for this coming week. Okay, Shelby, tease. I actually started this and I just never finished it. Jesse stats. Recipe-based links. I need to update those because some of them are incorrect. GC Labs reference. Okay. I need to block out client resource times. So like not just task specific things, but I need to literally go into Monday and just be like, girl, make time blocks. BNI education. Client resources. And Everfit Cals, because that's got to happen this week too. So the client resource base, what I'm talking about is like, I literally have, I'm going to go into my client interface on my coaching app. So I have a coaching app we use called Everfit, and I created a client account for myself so I could test things. And in this, I've got, we have a coaching, on demand. And the resource collections, we have like coaching 101, breath work, and a recipe hub. And this recipe hub has like, I don't think you can even see this. So like breakfast recipes, different meal prep recipes. And like, for example, this lunch recipes opens up, a lot of these open up into like a Google Drive of like, here's like tuna quiche, a chicken, easy ramen, frittata with bread and pesto, like actual like legit recipes for when people want something like that's a little bit less than just like your basic single ingredient meal prep vibes. Because while I am definitely like a single ingredient meal prep girly, I like a recipe every now and then. Or like, for example, I love like energy bites. Like I made like a whole document that's like a base recipe and then how to like do different like customizations for this. So like people can make energy bites, which are great for maybe people that are really busy, really like out the door in the morning, especially for like workouts or like they got kids and they just got to make sure they have something. These can also be stored. So I have like, I think at my recipe base over 500 recipes. But for example, one of my clients was like, yo, your smoothie recipe opens up to dressings and salsas. And I'm like, what? So I got to go through and just like double check all of these. And so that's what I'm talking about when I say like, I need to update the recipes. I need to literally like just go through and fix them. And then I have like a whole bunch of plant-based recipes. This one's plant-based friendly. So that means that it has animal-based protein instructions and plant-based protein instructions. So that's what I've got to figure out for that, if that helps put that into context. And then EverFit is where I actually need to go in and drop in what my clients are doing for workouts. And I need to schedule my own workouts actually in EverFit. I would share my screen for doing this, but I don't want to break the audio loop again. Whee. I kind of like making myself a client in my coaching app because then I get to it's nice because then I can actually test some of like the workouts that I write and like, because I'm perfect. Like sometimes I write shit and I'm like, that's not feasible. Like, girl, what are you thinking? But I like to go in and like test things and see how it actually looks on like the outside, on the like the back end of things. So we're going to do these, and then I need I'm going to add in a full body push, a full body pull, a core day, and a leg day, which is a split that I actually wrote for a client. And I was like, I kind of love this. So I'm going to run it myself. Although I did this in the middle of the month and I'd been traveling a lot this month. So some of it's been a little questionable. Beep, beep. And then I make some adjustments for me specifically because like hers are to her. And so they make more sense for like her. And then I made some adjustments for myself. So that it makes sense for me. So like she has specific stretches that she needs to do, but I don't need to do those. So I'm just updating it to my preferences and my needs right now. Hence why my hands aren't over here, because I'm doing a screen situation. And again, I don't want to make the audio loop angry again. Otherwise, I'd show you what I'm doing. I'll show you what it looks like on my app here in a second. Whee! Okay. And I don't want to have quite as long workouts this week. Okay, so that one's fine. I want like 4 exercises, not 5 or 6. Because I do a full body warm up, the workout, usually a glute burnout, and then a stretch. And so I want to just reduce the volume a little bit so it makes a little bit more sense. And I only want like 4 actually working sets in each exercise or each workout day. I'm going to take that guy out and I'm going to take that guy out, and that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Okay, this makes sense for me. And you'll see what I'm actually going to do this week is I'm going to try to get back on my like early morning workout game, where I'm going to get to the gym between this like 4:45 a.m. and be home by like 7:30. And then time that and take notes on how that actually logistically goes. I had a one-on-one with a client and she's like, I want to go to the gym and like I know my workouts only take 30 minutes, but I feel like I always run out of time. I'm like, well, how long does it take you to get to the gym depending on what time of day you're going? And she's like, well, once I drop my kid off, it's like 30 minutes to the gym. I'm like, okay, cool. Then once you get to the gym, you usually don't like work out. You like have to go in from the parking lot and then like put your stuff down and then like get your headphones on, make sure you fill up your water bottle, whatever. And then you start your workout, right? So there's like a 10-minute-ish, but it's like 7 to 10 minutes buffer. Then you have your workout. Then it's about 5 to 7 minutes to go get your stuff, get into the car, and then another however many minutes drive home. Like that's, and she's like, oh my God, that's like 2 hours for a 30-minute workout. I'm like, yeah, yes, you are correct. A little sippy sip time. Okay. So in this, I also need to work on Renee. I need to update blocks 2 and 3 for her workouts. And I have a new client starting. So Bree, day 1. Okay. Then what I want to do is I'm going to stick in here my calls. This is going to be like, that little block there. And I think from a appointment perspective, that's all I've got on the actual calendar tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get as much of this done tomorrow as I possibly can. Personal. Now, tomorrow I have for sure, I know, a meeting here and a massage appointment here and a call on this day. And then again, we're going Angela one-on-one. We're going Yemi, Rebecca, FCA office hour. And if any of this changes, I literally just like, white it out and start again. Okay. So habits that I want to focus on this week is I need to log my food. I need to work out. I did not do good at working out this last week because whenever I get back from travel, again, I mentioned earlier, transitions just screw me over and I wasn't sleeping well. It was kind of a rough week. And you may be like, but Elena, you're a coach. Like, yes, I know. I'm also a human. And I struggle. Vitamins. And if you're wondering why I write vitamins and then also have the weekly tracker, this is just a reminder to check off what I actually did take. I need to do PT at home, self-myofascial release at home. So again, my in-between stuff. And then I need to do a scalp treatment. And I need to update my trackers. And then you'll see here, I have check weekly, hobby, I have my spending log, and then check on mom. Are kind of like the main things I need to do. So I did that. I need to make sure that this cleared. I need to, okay, cancel nails, transfer for that. I did this. I still need to do this. Fix gray sweater. I have a sweater that has a hole in it. I need to fix it. It's kind of like towards the front. It's like a gray knit duster sweater and it's real cute. See Thursday, Friday. Okay. All right. Now Fitness video outlines. Okay, so now I need to do some stuff for marketing. I think what's going to end up happening is I think I'm going to sort of overload Monday and then migrate things once I get a handle on what the week is actually going to feel like. So marketing, I need to finish my outlines, record pods, edit pods and vids, and I need to do socials in Airtable. I need to talk with Caroline, book, call, prep resources. She won a giveaway with a local business for 30 days of free coaching. Daryl referral. That's going to go over here. Actually, I don't think I need to do that because he didn't end up using the link. Okay. Miley, music and reschedule. That's one of my music students. Miley, music and reschedule. We've started the rescheduling process, but we're just kind of like going back and forth. Okay. So that's this day. Whee! I need to move this back to the monthly because this is something I do want to follow up on. LinkedIn game plan. Actually, maybe I'll write this a little bit under LinkedIn. Question mark. Mom key. Okay. Organize content notes, November call calendars. See what I mean? So I think what I'm going to do is now that I have this, and then I need to look at actually, like, I'm trying to be better on weekly on like forwarding any receipts for things to the way that my bank works is I can email any receipts to like a specific link and it will automatically like attach them to the purchase in my bank account online for my business bank account. Okay. So I need to do that on a weekly basis. Okay. So follow up Jerica. And then I need to update the communication log. Okay. Now, let's be real. Not all of this is going to happen all tomorrow. A lot of it's going to get migrated, and that's why I'm not really dropping anything into, like, see recurring is like, I'll set that up a second. See recurring, and then Tuesday is check-ins. Wednesday is case studies. And then I'll fill kind of all this in. Like if I don't need to put something down in here, I don't put it down. But what I might need to write down might change from day to day. So I kind of leave it blank until I get to the day. And so I can mark off that I did check my weekly. I did check on mom. Okay. So we're good there. We're good there. We're good there. That was Thursday. That was Friday. This was Saturday. And Sunday's not over yet. I still need to do my personal stuff kind of this weekend and then my own start this process. And that's what I still got to maybe start on yet this evening. But I kind of need to get ready for bed here shortly. So, but at least now I have an idea of like what's on tomorrow. And then I will sort of block out like client resources, education, admin, marketing around this once I start my workday. And that will kind of help me get everything updated that needs to be updated. Let me move this over to here. So these are the things that I do on a daily basis. And then I have to check Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. I have to do reach. Then I have those. Okay. Yay. And I'll update this tomorrow once I send some notes out. Mainly because I need to actually update this into some I need to take my notes from here, and I actually need to digitize some of these before I move them over completely. Does that make sense? Okay. But I'll do that in the morning, likely when I start time blocking the day. Well, that's Tuesday. When I start time blocking the day, I'll figure that out. This is going to be here. And then note, Jenna Kiln. There's a girl I know, and she's going to come hang out with me at my co-working space. She's also another coach, and she's going to be on my side of town today. So that's what we're going to do. All right. I think that pretty much sums up my planning. I did check my weekly. I checked my monthly. This is tomorrow, and I did check my monthly already for this week's setup. So we're going to leave that there. And then that's pretty much it. I might decorate. I don't really want to decorate, but I feel like I need to decorate. Like, I don't want to decorate because the holidays still make me sad. But I feel like I need to not avoid that this year. And my in-laws are also coming into town at the end of the month. I need to make a deep clean list. Because I need to figure out, like, I need to deep clean a few things in my house, like baseboards. Wish me luck on that. Okay, so here's my weekly. I did update my monthly and cross-check things from my monthly into my weekly. And then I set up my dailies for this coming week. With Monday kind of being the front loading day because it's the day that I have the least stuff at the start of the week. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'll kind of fill in the rest of the week as I get closer to those days. Because like I said, these timelines are less pre-planning and more as the day goes on. So I don't fill them all out always in advance. Here's Friday. I have my Saturday and Sunday ready to go. I don't know always how I'm going to use my weekends until I get there. Then I have my weekly dashboard for daily recurring task communication and client resource inbox. And then that's pretty much it. And yeah. Okay. So that was the October flip. My planning is done. Thank you guys if you have stuck around for hanging out with me. And I kind of like doing the plan with me's live because the whole purpose of planning is to be efficient. And I like that I can do it and then not have to go back and always edit it. And then it takes more time. So if you guys are liking the lives for the plan with me, they get a little chatty, they get a little funny. Hopefully we don't have any more audio loop issues. Let me know, and I might plan to do them live just more consistently, and then do other content and like system updates and things like that as more like edited videos. I am going to be doing a washi and pen sort of like not declutter, but like organization. Yeah, it's a declutter, organization and declutter in reference to the unhauled year and just reducing the amount of overwhelm that I have with my stationery supplies. I don't know if you guys saw this that I posted on Instagram today, but I was having just a random conversation. Somebody was like, talk me out of doing Pocket. I know it doesn't work. And I was like, don't do it. And then she was like, you're the only person who's told me to not do it. And it was just sort of almost like a offhanded, called myself by accident out in this conversation. And I said to her, not about her, but just like my own mindset of, I said, and I posted it actually as a post on my feed. And I said, I've realized that whenever I want to switch, AKA like switch systems, switch books, things like that, that it actually is more stress to switch and doesn't actually help my productivity. I'm just using the it's a hobby as an excuse to avoid my feelings. And then my caption was, it's a hobby is the biggest lie I've told myself, in reference to planner hopping. Yes, it's a hobby, but if it gets used as a coping mechanism to avoid your feelings instead of actually facing what's bothering you, where does the line between hobby and justification end? Sometimes the change does make sense, but I'm committing to actually sitting with my feelings first instead of using external outlets to cope as my default setting. And I was like, oh, I didn't mean to call myself out quite so much, right? But like, and then I started talking to some other people, and it's like, they're like, I'm so stressed. And I've been there too. Like, I'm not exempt from this. I've absolutely done this. And I'm just like, but this is meant to serve me, not the other way around. You know what I mean? Like, how can I make this like serve me and not be the stressor and be something that brings me joy and helps me stay organized? And a lot of that is realizing too, even in, you know, when I did my 2025 system overview, I said, you know, I just realized that how I plan and how I organize information doesn't change. It doesn't change, right? Whether I'm in a bound book or a rings, and whether I'm in B6 or standard N1 size, I don't change how I organize information. It's just the medium that I'm using. So why do I feel like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, let me switch into a new system? That's not going to fix anything because I'm still organizing the information the same way. Like be so real with yourself, girl, like to me, right? So just food for thought. Anyway, it is time for me to finish up a couple things and then maybe get ready for bed. I will see if I can maybe try to figure out the screen sharing situation. But if the quality of the video was okay on your end, like the clarity and crispness, and now I kind of know what my audio levels need to be. So thank you. I will try to maybe figure out that like screen sharing situation for the lives so that if I'm doing something live and I want to show you guys a reference of what I'm talking about. Oh, let me show you what I did for my workouts this week. I'll show you what this looks like since I couldn't share my screen. But let me know if some of that stuff would be helpful, and then I'll just like try to include some of that because it's kind of nice to be able to just like, oh, let me screen share live and like show you what I'm looking at. So if I go to coaching, let me go to this coming week. So if I go to, ooh, that is an adjustment. I apologize. Hey, there we go. So you'll see that I've got my pull, or my push, my pull, a rest day, a core day, and a lower body day. And when I open these up, basically what happens is I can just like start the workout. Well, when it comes on the day, like it's on the day, there's like a start the workout, and then I can actually see. And so like, here's my warm up, you know, here's my actual workout, my burnout, and then my stretch. So that's like what I see in my app. And it's what my clients see too. So it's kind of cool. Anyway. Oh yeah. A start of the year inventory. You know, that's a really good idea because I do want to keep tabs of like what I have after I kind of declutter everything, which that's part of the purpose of like decluttering things, right? Is to just see like what I actually have so I can make a plan to use it. That's why I love using my sticker release paper because like I can go through all of the stickers that I have in my stash, offload them into this book. And then as I start to run low on things, I can go through my stash and re-upload. So like I just recently added like a bunch of samplers, like sticker samplers into here because I wanted to. right, I had them and I'm like, well, I should use these. Let me just put these in here. Cause then otherwise they just sit in a drawer or in a box and then don't get used. Right. So these all came from samplers. Right. And then little icons, things like that. So, it's like, how do you know what you have unless you know what you have? And the goal is to, I think, an inventory video actually might be really, really cool. And then quarterly, what I want to do, and actually what I want to do this month, if I get the chance to do it, is things I didn't buy in October, right? In the spirit of preparing for the on-hold year and really challenging like my mindset on like, this thing isn't going to fix me. Right. So like if I even go like things that I wanted that like, I'm like, oh, this is cute, but I'm like, let me just like add it to my cart and then like save it and then sit on it, see if I even want it. So like, for example, there's a sweater, another tripod. I was looking at some more like portable Samsung, like SSD drives, which I still might need to pick one up, but I at least save them. I wanted to get a new Kindle case and strap. And like, why? The one that I have works fine. I was looking at like tan knit runners and keyboard cases for my iPad, although I ended up getting a keyboard case for my iPad, just not the ones I was looking at. So like I can kind of delete those. But like I was looking at 2 different kinds of knit runners. And then I was going through my closet. I found another pair of knit runners that was close enough. They were less gray and more like grayish, that they fit what I needed. And it's like, I almost just spent like $80 or whatever on a pair of sneakers that I didn't actually need. A new phone case. Like, why do I need a new phone case? I've had the same phone case on my phone since I've got my phone. Like, I don't need a new one. Like, I literally don't. A cropped jacket. Dumb shit. So, in the spirit of the on-hold year, I think that an inventory of my stationery supplies, especially like pens and stuff like that, might actually be really, really good. Who's behind me? Oh, Zach, is that you? Hi. Is it just a half a sparkly water? Can you make it in a cherry drink for me? Thank you. That was my other half. He's bringing me a little cherry drink with sparkling water. Yay. Love that for me. But same thing with like planner supplies, right? Like I literally just took the tote from the first declutter that I did. So if you guys watch that video, that tote still had a few extra things that I put in it. That finally got put up in the garage. And Zach was like, what's in here? I'm like, stationery shit. And I'm like, I felt so silly. Like, why do I have an entire box of notebooks and notebook covers and like that things that why? Like, why? I can't give you a legit reason, and I could use the excuse, oh, it's a hobby, all I want. But the truth of the matter is that I don't need all that stuff. And so part of this is also to like, as I'm better managing my like ADHD and stuff like that, and my anxiety, that my physical space being clear and clean and visually appealing helps a lot. And a lot of that is just like reducing the amount of random shit. Like I finally went through a bunch of boxes of random shit in my office today. And that was very like, my whole office is clean now. And I'm like, oh, it's so good. It feels so good. And I'm way less stressed now, like going into the week. And like, that's worth it to me. So like, you know, if you think that the things I didn't buy in October, because part of my like, you know, decluttering process is like the random shit from Amazon that like I buy. Like, I don't need that. I almost bought a new cup. Why? Because it's like one of those hydro jugs with the straw that flips down that doesn't spill. But I'm like, I've got this thing and this also doesn't spill and it's bigger and I use it every single day. Like, why do I need another cup that doesn't spill? Like, that's dumb. So yeah. Yay. Thank you. Oh, it's in a wine glass too. So this is my little nighttime sparkling water with some cherry juice because he's been into that and it just tastes good. Some people are like, oh, does the tart cherry juice help you sleep? And the theory behind that is that the tart cherry juice helps promote the creation of tryptophan, but you're not usually drinking enough of it to get like the effective dose. So I'm just like, just take straight tryptophan at that point. Like that would be more effective. Speaking of, it's time for me to get ready to go to bed. So I will catch you guys on the next one. If you were here, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for being here. And I will catch y'all later. Have a great week.